Hi, welcome to Tim Sinesi Yoga. I'm Tim Sinesi from timsinesiyoga.com. And today I'm here with Johanna. Johanna has a rad blog called Mother Spell, and she's also on Instagram at Johanna Maggie. Make sure to check her out, follow her, check out her blog. And today we're going to be working on, just like in part 5 of the series, some common misalignments. Now, one of the most common things I get asked is how to build upper body strength through yoga. And there's a great way to build upper body strength through vinyasa yoga, but it's also one of the most common ways that people injure themselves is by practicing vinyasa yoga. So we're going to look at why people get injured in their shoulders and in the lumbar spine, and we're going to try to not do that. I think it'd be a good idea to end up healthy from doing yoga. Should be important. Okay, so today we're going to start off with a little seated meditation. So sit up straight and tall. If you have a cushion or a block to sit on, you could. And then rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes and bring your awareness in. So just start by feeling your breath. Notice the breath moving in, and notice the breath moving out. Almost as if you're allowing the body to experience the breath, or you're just observing the body being breathed. Then open your eyes and come into your child's pose. Take a few moments in child's pose. Feel the really nice hip stretch in child's. Stretch for your shoulders, your armpits. Then lift your gaze towards your hands, and we'll go into the lats, but keep your hips back down onto your heels in the child's position. Then walk your hands over to the right, so that your chest kind of aims out over your left knee. Good, now as you hold here, imagine your whole left side body was like gills, and you're opening up the gills in your side body, from your waist, all the way up your armpit chest, all the way up into the side of your neck. Breathe into your gills. Then bring your hands back to center and over to the left. And breathe into your right side gills. Walk your hands back to center. Come up onto your hands and your knees and stretch back into your first down dog. Then walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Put a little bend in your knees and let your head drop. Feel the whole spine start to release forward and down. And as you reach down through your feet evenly, now start to lift up from the middle of your hamstrings, lift from your arches up into your hips, like your hips are being pulled up over your heels, and keep releasing the spine down. Then put a little bend in the knees again and slowly roll yourself up to stand. Head and neck, last thing to come up. Good, stand in mountain pose. Imagine you're standing with your back against the wall. Raise your arms up and inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, elongate your spine. Step back one leg at a time into plank. Open your chest as you hold. Good. Now we're going to challenge the plank strength. So keeping the chest open, the waist lifted, reach down into the space between your big toe mound and second toe mound and lift up your inner thighs. Without rounding at all in your plank, bring your right knee up towards your chest, but don't let your shoulder blades leave your back. Keep them plugged onto the back. Then change legs. Slowly bring the left knee up. Keep those blades on the back. Stretch that leg back. Good, then glide back into your down dog. One more time, inhale into plank. Are you serious? I know, we're gonna do it one more time. Keep the blades on the back. Bring the left knee up. Gotcha. Change legs, bring the right knee up. Stretch that leg back. Good. Now bring your left knee up to your chest. What? Again? Now this time round your back. Pull up. I do want you to round. Stretch back into plank. Pull your right knee up. And then round your back. Pull it up. Stretch it back. Enough of that. Child's pose. Set your knees down. Reach back. Or you go to down dog if you want to work more. But otherwise just hang out in child's with us. Stretch back into down dog. Walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Step back one leg at a time, plank. Good, now this time lower slowly onto your belly. Point your toes back and inhale into low cobra. So the higher you come up into cobra, the more that the backs of the legs are going to want to turn into each other. Instead, broaden right at the top of the hamstring, base of the buttocks. Spin out to the side. Feel your knees pointing straight down, and then stretch back through all your toenails. Lift the skin of the belly up to the chest. Bring your hands back underneath your elbows. Spread through the fingers, open up the hands, and then feel your back muscles start to turn on to help to open your chest. Lower your chest back down. Press up on the hands and knees, lift from your belly, and stretch back to down dog. Walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, make a flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank pose. Hold with your chest open, elongate through your spine. Lower slowly onto your belly. Point your toes back, inhale into cobra. Good, notice the tendency of the backs of the legs to want to bite in. Then lower your chest back down, lift up on the hands and knees, and stretch back to down dog. Raise your right leg up from the inner thigh behind you, but try not to let your hips twist as you do it. Stay even across your hands. Then pull your right knee up to your chest, and step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Then lower your back knee down, lift from your belly and raise your arms up. Good, stretch through the front of your left hip down towards your shin, and lift up tall through all four sides of your waist. Rotate the triceps forward, Feel the upper traps release so that the neck is free through the reach of the arms. Bring your hands back down. Stretch back to down dog. Change legs. Raise your left leg up from the inner thigh. Try not to let your hips twist. Lengthen through the front of the hip, through the big toe. Then pull your knee up to your chest. Shift into plank pose. Lift up high. And step your foot all the way up. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, come on up. Reach down through the front of your right hip, down through your shin. Lift up through all four sides of your waist. Now rotate your triceps forward. Feel the traps start to release out of the neck. And then lift up through the side ribs, up through the pinkies. Good, bring your hands back down. Stretch back to down dog. Then set your left knee down onto the mat. Put your left hand right underneath your left shoulder and open up into side plank with your right hand on your hip. You got it. Good, and then hand on your hip. We'll break it down. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is look down at the left hand, make sure it's even on the floor and the shoulder's right over the wrist. Check. Now, here's the thing, whenever we go to build strength using our arms, the tendency is for the chest to close and the head to move forward. So if you're gonna push something with your hands, everybody's stronger going like this, like hunching over and closing the chest. Someone wouldn't be like, hey, help me push this car, I ran out of gas. And you'd be like, okay, let me help you, like this. So it's very awkward to try to build the proper strength that we need to, but you don't want to be pushing like this in yoga. Okay, so having said that, make sure that the chest is open, the head is back in line with the spine. Then take your right arm up to the ceiling. Just to do that, you might feel that the head wanted to come forward. Don't let it do it. You're not pushing a car, you're doing yoga now. And then see if you can reach your left foot out behind your right foot without the chest closing, without the head falling forward. Ooh, good job. Now that's a really strong core. Grow the spine long, and then slowly with control, bring your right hand down. Nice, right knee down, open up to the other side. So feel your spine get long. If you've never done this before, just working with the knee down for a while is probably good work for you. Take your left arm up, still keep the chest open. The weight of the left arm will want to sink the left chest. Now, stay rooted in that right hand without closing the chest, without the head coming forward. Can you stretch your right leg out behind your left? If the answer is no today, no worries. Just set the knee down and keep working with the knee down. Slowly with control, bring your left hand back down. And then stretch back into your down dog or child's pose, your call. Walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms. Exhale, Samastiti. Okay, now let's get into these commonly misaligned poses that I was talking about. Stretch your arms straight out in front of you. Now imagine like you're pressing into walls with your hands, like you're doing that car pushing movement. Keep your hips back over top of your ankles. Now feel your mountain tall, like you're backs up against the wall, and then slowly just bend your elbows into your side body. Let them drop right down into your side ribs. But then keep the wrist up in line with the elbows. Okay, so this is chaturanga. When we do the sun salutation and you hear chaturanga, that means this pose, but just on the floor. So this is the position you want to be in. You'll notice that the shoulders are back in line with the hips. The head's right up on top of the spine. There's a nice long line of energy from the ankles. You still have the Tadasana. Now it's a lot harder when you go to put all the weight on the body of the arms. Most will do what I'm doing instead. Shoulders rounded, head forward, core not engaged. Don't do that, okay? Now raise your arms up and let's practice. We'll go through a flow and make our way back. Exhale, fold forward. You're gonna need a medium-sized block for this one. That's just like that. Inhale, flat back. Step back one leg at a time into plank. Good. Now, set up your block so it's gonna be like right underneath your hips when you go to shift forward. You could just guesstimate. Now shift forward and lower slowly all the way down onto the block so that your hips go onto the block. Then lower your chest down too. Pause there. Imagine the feet were against the wall. They're pressing. The legs are firm. Nice. Now with your chest down, set your shoulder blades into the position you want on your back so that the shoulder is kind of like what we were just practicing in mountain. Now with your strong core, see if you can lift yourself up to block height with the chest without the shoulders rolling in, without the head going into the position I was showing. Good, pause there. Up a little bit higher, good. Spread the front of the shoulders. Feel your strong back muscles engage. And then lengthen from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Now lower just another centimeter or two. Good. Now hold this for 3 minutes. No, just 3 more breaths. 2. Now your body is a board, a plank. Lift straight up like a plank. Oh, I know it's so hard. Downward facing dog. That is probably one of the most difficult things in yoga, for sure. Okay, now because it's going to be difficult to duplicate that without the block, you can train your body with knees down. So let's do that. Shift into plank, set your knees down. To give your chest a little more room, take your hands a little wider on the mat and turn the index fingers out just slightly. Now, pretend like you have a stick up your back from your tailbone to your head. You're not allowed to bend the spine at all. Now shift forward and slowly lower. You can even let the elbows bend out to the side just a little bit as you're practicing this movement, and then lift straight back up. But don't let the head fall, don't let the chest close. Good. Slowly lower again. Keep the chest open, keep the spine long, and lift straight back up. One more time, slowly lower. This is how I recommend you learn chaturanga. Just practicing with the knees down, and then point your toes back and come into up dog. Good. And then lower back down onto your belly. Cool. So the next thing that people tend to do, one of the most common misalignments I see in Vinyasa Yoga, is people just hinging into their lumbar spine through their up dogs, jamming into up dogs. They haven't understand how to do up dog yet. So for up dog, I'm going to ask you to put your block in between your thighs, just like this. And then point your toes back. Now you should feel that the whole inner thigh is even on the block. It's like the fronts of your thighs are turning towards the block. You're not biting the backs of the legs into the block at all. Then bring your hands back underneath your elbows, and then start to roll up into low cobra. Pause in the low cobra position, and make sure that the shoulders aren't sneaking in like I showed when you try to muscle with your arms. Keep the chest open. Then slowly start to roll up just halfway up into up dog. What happened with the backs of your legs? Are they trying to bite into the block? Don't let them. Now roll all the way up into up dog. Good. Roll the front of the shoulders open. Now sink into your shoulders just an inch down, and then spin the shoulders back. And instead of pushing with the arms now, pull the chest through. And keep the front of the shoulders open. Keep turning the fronts of the thighs towards each other. Now straighten the knees, press the tops of the feet. Ooh, now that's an up dog. You should feel more connected to your whole spine. Lower back down onto your belly. Great job. Downward facing dog, stretch back. Then step your right foot up by your right thumb, and let's do a little twist to release the spine after that. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Bring your hands to prayer position and twist. Take your left elbow to your knee. Press into your index finger knuckles, expand across your collarbones. Bring your hands back down and change sides. Inhale your arms up. Bring your hands to prayer position and twist. Once you get the elbow to hook, feel the length of the spine again to make sure that you're not just hinging from the weak, stiff parts in your spine. Then bring your hands back down. Stretch back to down dog. Then hop to a seated position. Cross your legs in front of you and start to fold forward. If you have a block, you should have a block. I don't know how you did this class without a block. Then rest your forehead on the block on the tall or medium height. If you're not that flexible, you could put a chair in front of you to rest your head on, or a ladder or scaffolding or something, depending on what you. All right. Or you can just work on tipping forward just halfway with the tall spine like I'm doing. This is for the tightest hips, knees that want to lift up. Just get your knees to release down. And come back up. Change the cross of your legs and fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And then lie down onto your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. Let your feet fall open. Let the hands open up at your side. Hands maybe about a foot away from your body. And just let the body surrender into the mat. Let go, feel the support of the floor. Surrender into it. Just take a moment to consider all the things that are supporting you. All the things in life that help you to feel supported, to help you to feel safe. And the more we can focus on how life, the earth's energy is helping to support us, the more that will increase in our lives. You might notice that the mind will say something like, well, this is silly. There's all these other things I could think about, how I'm not being supported. Yet that's just what the mind does. Come back into your body and feel this very real sense of the earth supporting you. Gently bend your knees. Roll over to your right side. Press yourself up to seated. Then bring your palms together. Just take a moment to notice the shift at the end of the practice. Notice how the body feels. Notice the quality of the breath. And just observe your current mental state. Then lower your head towards your heart. Lift your head and open the eyes. Thank you. Namaste. All right, so thanks so much for watching today. I really hope that you're enjoying this series. If you are, please hit the like button, leave a comment below, and also subscribe to the channel. Maybe share with a friend too. I really appreciate it. It helps to support the channel, helps to keep us going. Thanks to Johanna for coming out today. Please make sure to follow her, spread the word about her and her blog, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.